Hello, hello. My name is Ashlee and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Trump and Zohran's meeting, which is insane. I haven't watched the whole thing, but we're going to watch the whole entire thing. And then I am going to talk about Zohran not endorsing a primary challenger against Hakeem Jeffries. I'm very upset about that, so I'll talk about that. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is Marjorie Taylor Greene quitting Congress, which is crazy because it happened the same day as the Zohran Trump meeting, so it was wild. But yes, I'm excited to talk to everyone today. I'm excited to go over all this. Before we get into it, of course, please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all the things. And yeah, let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Yes, happy early Thanksgiving. Jank is begging MTG not to quit. I think that's gonna be I think that's gonna be one of my videos this week because I saw that on the Vanguard and it looks interesting. So yes, also thank you for the video recommendations or the topic recommendations. I appreciate them. I'm going to be doing more videos, and I think I might be doing like a Thanksgiving themed video on Thanksgiving, which I'm excited about. So yeah, I'm excited to be making more stuff. MTG can finally become Magic the Gathering again. I don't know. We'll talk about my theories when we talk about that. I have a feeling she might be running for Senate or something else, but we can celebrate right now. Honestly, it's a fun time. It's actually, which is weird because it hasn't been fun like at all, but this week has actually been pretty fun. Personal news, I saw Wicked and now I'm obsessed, and like if you have ADHD, you tend to hyper focus on things and you just get like very attached to things. I feel like that's how I am with Wicked right now. I'm obsessed. My dad, I'm gonna spend Thanksgiving with him because it's also his birthday, and he was like, have you seen Wicked yet? And I was like, I have, but I will see it again. So I think I'm going to see it again with my dad, which I'm excited for. So yeah, happy early Thanksgiving. I think I'm going to do a video on Thanksgiving about like the real history and stuff like that. So that way, I feel weird celebrating this holiday, but I always spend it with my dad because usually it's his birthday. So, it works out. But anyway, that's just some personal news for me today. Other than that, let's get into it. So first I wanted to talk about, I hope I'm saying his name right, Chiose. He filed papers to run against Hakeem Jeffries in New York. And the big debate last week is it okay that he's running? Should DSA endorse him? Should Zohran endorse him? Should AOC endorse him? And I feel like a lot of people on the ground, like a lot of just like regular people, regular voters are like, yes, please, primary Hakeem Jeffries, anything to get him out of leadership, right? Anything to get him and Chuck Schumer out of leadership. I feel like that has been something that most people have been wanting for a while now. And it's very strange. It's very strange that AOC and Zohran are like, no, we're not going to endorse him. DSA actually ended up not endorsing him. So I don't know how this run is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do have this video just of them like talking about and him announcing his run. So we'll do that right now, and then I'll talk about my feelings. Because I have a lot of feelings. I have so many feelings. Okay.
Politics. Yeah. Somebody was paying attention in class. Chiose of Brooklyn, a Democrat, and even more recently, a Democrat socialist, just like our new mayor-elect, formally announcing he is going to challenge House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Emboldened by a Zohran Mamdani win, a New York City council member looking to unseat the most powerful Democrat in Congress, Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader. When asked about the challenge in next year's primary, he responded simply,
Come on in, the water is warm.
It would be a stunning
God.
upset for Jeffries, who, if Democrats retake the majority in the House, would become the first black Speaker of the House. Osei, known for his work on the City Council, advocating for tenants' rights, but also for his social media presence.
How is New York City worse than Istanbul, Berlin, Madrid, Barcelona, London, Paris, Seoul, Amsterdam, Tokyo? We can't build subways.
Political pundits noting the
true.
similarity of social media skills that helped bring a record number of voters to the poll for Mayor-elect Mamdani.
To the polls!
But while the two share a political party with the Democratic Socialists of America, Mamdani so far not supporting the move. On Monday saying, while I appreciate the great work that City Council member Osei has done, especially for tenants, I believe that there are many ways right here in New York City to both deliver on an affordability agenda and take on the authoritarian administration in the White House. Osei, in announcing the primary bid, taking aim at the 55-year-old Jeffries by saying the party was failing to fight back against the president after Democrats forced the government shutdown over a vote to fund subsidies for health insurance premiums. The 27-year-old Osei elected to just his second full term on the council this month, representing North Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy. Now, this whole campaign comes amidst broader upheaval within the Democratic Party, as everybody from Senator Chuck Schumer on down is being eyed by some younger challengers eager to reshape the party. We know our Democrats and our Republicans and all of our elected officials, no shortage of ego and drive. They're going for it.
The aftershocks of the last election wave, we're feeling it.
Indeed. It'll be interesting to watch this one play out over the year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. It will be interesting. So, okay. So here's my thoughts. When this first happened, I was actually really angry and I was out of town and so this all started not even last week. It was like a week before that, where there were reports that Ken Klivenstein came out with, and I think it was Dropside News. They came out with saying that Zohran is not going to endorse G. He's actually probably going to advise against it, go against his run. And I was very angry at that. And it was funny because there were a lot of other people who were like, well, who knows if that's really true? We don't really know. And then I was like, but if it's Ken Klivenstein, I trust Ken Klivenstein. He's a really good journalist. I feel like he's typically, he typically is, really, really truthful and it seems like he's consistently right about things. And so I was like, well, I don't know, it's coming from him. So I believe it. And I was very angry. I was very angry at first. And I'm still I don't know. I still think we should encourage primary challenges against Jeffries, and we should encourage primary challenges against any corporate Democrat. And honestly, I feel like I knew this was coming. He was working with Zohran during his campaign, helped him during his campaign. I feel like I kind of thought this was going to happen, that he was going to run against Hakeem. I thought a lot of people were thinking that. And so it surprised me that he didn't realize that was probably going to happen after this. But he ended up not endorsing him and actually asking DSA not to endorse him. And DSA did not endorse him. AOC did the same thing. And so I don't know really how his campaign is going to go now. And I know a lot of the different, there are a lot of reasons that people are saying he made this decision. And, like you said, Creflo, heard some about that he just joined DSA, and it was just very, very recent. And people think he's an opportunist and trying to take advantage of this. The other reasonings are that, Zohran might need help in city council. And so he wants someone there on his side, and he just won his seat for city council again. So it would take a lot of his time to run this campaign, especially against Hakeem Jeffries, right? And, so there are a lot of different reasons. There's a lot of different things, and I get all of them. I understand all of them. I wish him and AOC didn't go against him. I wish they kind of just stayed out of it or just didn't endorse. Them like actively going against him, just I don't really like. And I don't like it gives me this vibe of like pulling the ladder up behind you type of thing. Like, you did it. You both were able to go against establishment Democrats and win in a way that people really didn't think was going to happen, you know, and you proved everyone wrong. And I feel like Zohran winning really just inspired people, and it made people be like, no, we need that here. We want that here. And unfortunately, I just don't understand why he's making this specific decision. Again, I still really like him. I still think he's great. He's gonna, like, in this Trump meeting we're gonna watch, he obviously he's gotten Trump to like him. Trump seems to love him now. So it's, you know, I'm sure MAGA minds are so like twisted right now, but it's just an interesting decision, and I don't necessarily agree with it, personally. We will still be trying to get rid of him a decade from now, I think. Honestly, that's what's so frustrating, is that, like, I think, and this is something that I think AOC's been doing for a little while now, is not that she's like moderating her stances, but she, you know, my very liberal uncle, I have a very liberal uncle, and when I, like, you know, I don't see him all the time. He lives in Florida, but the one time I did see him, like a couple of years ago, we were talking about everything, and he's very pro-Israel, and we were talking about everything, and I agreed with him on everything up until like him being pro-Israel. And then he said that he really likes AOC now, and that he didn't like AOC before, but he really likes her now. But then when I mentioned Cori Bush, he didn't like her. And so that's how I gauge, like, okay, Cori Bush is like, she's not afraid. She will speak out for what's right, and she will always speak out no matter the consequences, because that's just who she is. That's what she believes. AOC, I think she does the same thing, but I do think she's willing to moderate to be in certain circles, and she's willing to moderate to further her career and her power. Not in a bad way, in like a good way, and she wants to get in higher spaces within the government, so that way she has more power to get things done. And I totally understand that. But what's very frustrating about it is that I feel like I feel like progressives tend to try to get into these rooms with Hakeem Jeffries, try to get into these rooms with Nancy Pelosi, try to make deals with them, try whatever, and like every single time they always stab them in the back. Every single time they always like work with him on that specific thing, but then the next thing they're like, yeah, well, we don't really, you know, we don't really think like that. That's not our party. Like AOC and Zohran are not our party, you know. And that's my qualm with it. That's my problem with it, is like, you can try to get them to like you, but they're never going to actually like you and support you, because they're beholden to capital and you are not. And that's the biggest divide that there is. So that's my personal opinion. I still like AOC. A lot of people are saying she might run for Senate or president. I think both. I think either would be great. So I still like her. I still think she's great. Same as Zohran. I still think he's great, and I still think they're great. I just think that I'm just worried that they're not going to learn that lesson, that they're not, like, they will stab you in the back. Like, you know, he was just saying, well, I think, you know, now is not the time to primary Hakeem Jeffries. And then Hakeem Jeffries, when Zohran came to visit Trump, literally voted a bill to condemn socialism. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? There's literal fascists in office. Like, Trump, we're going to watch it. Trump literally lets Zohran call him a fascist. Says, it's okay, you can call me a fascist. There are literal fascists in office, and you're condemning socialism. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And so I don't get it. Jeffries' district is represented by Jabari Brisport, a DSA member in the state Senate. I think the local chapter prefers him. Okay, yeah. See, if there are other people, I think that's great. I didn't know there was someone else. If there's someone else that DSA is going to endorse, then I think that's good. I think we should try to primary. And I think the more people in the primary and the more people that we primary, I think the better it is, because a lot of these Democrats are so used to never getting questioned, never getting primaried, just people assuming that, well, they're really popular, they're higher up, so we're just going to leave them alone. And no, like, we need to primary them all. I don't care. Like, primary all of them. They need to be big primaries. We need to actually have choice, because for far too long, the Democratic establishment has made that impossible within this party to have any kind of choice of who we vote for. It's always voting for the corporate Dem because it's the lesser of two evils, and that's always what it is. And so I think our primaries should be big. I think there should be lots of people, and I think that we should be able to decide who is going to represent us, because far too long corporate Democrats have had the say. Like, I know there's another I forgot what seat it is, but it's in New York, and I think it's Cameron Sky, he's on the Bulwark, he's running, but then also there's a Kennedy running. I forgot his name. I don't really care. I want Cameron to win. Cameron is my choice, but there's like a lot of people running, and so I'm like, okay, great. At least people have choices now. Because I just feel like the Democrats consistently try to push people out that are to the left of them constantly, and so there's not even ever a choice. And so I'm glad that people are like, okay, we need more people to run. We need more people to primary all of these corporate Democrats and establishment Democrats. Like, we don't care anymore. And I think that's a good thing. Unfortunately, in a lot of states, it's actually very expensive to run, and you have to pay to even like put in the papers to run, which is why a lot of people don't, or a lot of regular people don't, because there's a barrier to entry there. So that's something, that is not fun, that I hate. That is also something we should probably get rid of, because that's crazy, because it hurts democracy. Anyway, I loved that part, right? Oh, hello, thank you. Okay, it's easier than explaining. Yeah, exactly. Silence was not the option. Exactly. I think silence would have been a much better option. I just don't like it. It just puts a bad taste in my mouth. And like, listen, he kept Tish, what's her name, on as police commissioner. I'm not super fond of that idea. I'm not, do I think, would she be my pick? No. Do I understand the strategy behind it? Yes. I don't understand the strategy behind this. I don't get this. To me, it just looks like you're pulling up the ladder behind you. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. And I don't know. I just don't really like it. And he could have just been silent. And I feel like that would have been a better, I feel he can talk his way out of anything. Okay. He's good at charming people. Like, he could have talked his way out of this. I don't understand why he didn't do that. I don't understand why he had to like advocate against him. That's something I don't like it. And now it's kind of funny, because now like the normie Democrats are like in love with him. They're like in love with him. And a lot of progressives are like, listen, like, we love him too, but like, we gotta be able to like have some type of criticism. We gotta be able to like, you make sure he stays progressive. We have to do that. Richie Torres is being primaries by two leftists. Michael Blake. Yes, Michael Blake. I do like that. And I did see the other DSA. There was a DSA member running in that primary as well. And he looked really good. I like Michael Blake, but that DSA member also, I liked him a lot as well. And one of Torres' primary opponents was abducted by no way, his dad was? Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I really like that there are a lot of people, because I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that we have more people participating, just participating in this process, because I feel like so many people, I feel like a lot of people are just like, they're like, oh, well, we can't change anything. What does it matter? Like, who cares what I have to think? And it's like, no, we can change things. And if we run and if we pay attention, of course, I would never run. I had someone ask me that once. They're like, well, you're into politics. Why don't you run? And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I am not, listen. No, thank you. I would like cry under the scrutiny, honestly. Like that would not be a good thing. And I would like also, like, if I were like in a debate and someone said something like passive aggressive or like messed up to me, like I would go off. Like I would literally like go off on them in the middle of the debate. Like there would be no moderating my opinion. I would lose my shit on someone. Because that's just what I do when I get mad. Like I would lose my shit on someone. So like there's no way. I don't have the temperament to be able to be that person. That's good for my vote. I'm like, sometimes like there are times when Zohran was running and people would say something to him and I'm like, bro, if I was in his shoes, I would literally be losing my mind right now. I'd be like, why do you keep asking me this dumb question every single day? Like, why are you asking me this question? What is it? Like so do you guys remember the parade, the parade question during the debate where they were like, what parades are you gonna go to? When are you gonna go to a parade? Da 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 da. And he was like, I don't know. I'm gonna worry about, governing New York. On Veterans Day, he went and he handed out food to people, talked to people that didn't even vote for him, that like hated him. He handed out food. And the press afterwards, they literally asked him, why didn't you go to the parade? And if that were me in that situation, I think I would have lost my mind. I would have been like, what the fuck is this question? Why are you asking me about a parade? Who cares? What are you saying to me right now? Like, and it just like, I wouldn't be able to sit there and smile like that. Like, I would actually be like, what are you saying to me right now? I'd be like Trump. What a dumb question. What a dumb question you're asking me right now. I would be riddled with scandal. Oh God, I just couldn't handle I just couldn't handle all the, I don't know. I just don't think I could handle it because it's just, I feel like it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of eyes on you. It's a lot. It's a lot. We need Claire McCaskill, and you're thinking of Cameron Kasky, yes, who's running against Jack Scholzelberg, the Kennedy, yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just started talking about this. I definitely forgot to look up their names. But yes, we need Claire McCaskill. She's funny. Okay, so we don't need McCaskill. I know, I was like, oh God, do you know who we need to get out is Ann Wagner. Ann Wagner is like the worst, and she's in Congress, and she never comes back to Missouri. She's horrible. Anyway. So let's see. Okay, so now we're going to watch. Okay, I'm very excited for this. Okay, we're going to watch the whole entire thing. Let me set it up real quick. I know you all have probably seen it or heard it or it's gone viral, but I just want to set it up anyway. So we're going to watch the whole entire, not the meeting because they had a meeting, but we're going to watch the whole entire media, like questionnaire, media, the press, I can't think of words today. Sorry. Press conference. We're going to watch the whole thing because there are so many great moments and I haven't watched the whole thing yet. So I thought we could watch it together and react because I'm really excited. Of course, this went completely viral during this week and everyone lost their minds. Zohran, it's so crazy because he met with him on Friday, but it feels like it was like weeks ago that he met with him. But no, he met with him on Friday, and everyone was kind of wondering how this was going to go. Apparently, it's customary for the NYC mayor to meet with the president, which I wasn't aware of, but apparently it's customary. It happens, I guess it happens every time, I don't know. And so... So they met and everyone was like, okay, what's going to happen? How is this going to work out? Because Trump has famously called him a communist. He even said like, oh, I'm going to meet with the communist Zohran before he came in. And then during the press conference, he was like doting on Zohran, was like standing up for him when people were asking those dumb questions. And I just loved it, honestly. Like, I know there were some people who felt iffy about it. I loved it. I loved it. As someone who has conservative people in their life who hate Zohran like so much, oh, I loved it. I loved it because now I have to be like, well, now I get to be like, well, Trump loves Zohran. Like you say you hate him, but your guy loves him, man. Your guy loves him. What are you going to do with that? And there are so many people that are trying to like explain this away. There's so many people that are like melting down and don't know how to handle this. It's wonderful. It's been a wonderful time to be on the internet. And yes, so let's watch this. I'm very excited. Wesley Bell, yeah, it makes more sense than going to Israel. I don't know what that's about, but you mean the parade thing? Yeah, you're right. The parade question does make more sense than asking him if he's gonna go to Israel. You're right. And then Wesley Bell, Wesley Bell. I am going to do everything I can to make sure Wesley Bell does not get reelected. Okay. Short side note. I have this alarm app. It's called Alarmy. And I have like 2 different alarm apps, and they have like 20 different alarms that go off every morning. It's very hard for me to wake up. And in the Alarmy thing, they have like ads and stuff. There's a literal ad of Wesley Bell. Every single time I wake up, I hit my alarm and then it stops and then I see Wesley Bell's face and I want to scream. I might have to start using a different app because I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to see his face every time I wake up. It makes me so mad. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we got to get him out. I'm going to try my best. Okay. I went door knocking a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Oh God, let's get him out of there. I've protested against him before. He needs to go. Going to Washington makes more sense than going to Israel. Yes, you were correct. Yes, 100%. Okay, so without further ado, let's watch this amazing press conference that I'm so excited to watch.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting.
Okay, before we get into this, so it is actually kind of funny because he has him standing up and Trump is sitting down, which I think was a power move because I feel like Zohran is so popular and a lot of people who voted for Trump actually voted for him. Same with AOC. And it's funny because there's so many, like I talked to my mom about this and like she does not understand. She's like, how is that even possible? I'm like, because there are people on the right who actually thought that Trump was going to be populist, and so they fell for that. And when they see a real person who's actually like, yeah, no, I want to help you, I want you to have free childcare, they're like, oh wait, no, but that is what I want, like that's what I've been saying. And so I do think that's that's where those come together. But I do think this is a power move because Zohran is so popular, way more popular than Trump is. He's having a meltdown on True Social right now about his poll numbers. And, I think that's why he likes him. He likes him because he's charismatic. He likes him because he's popular and he's a winner, and that's what he likes in people. And I think this is hilarious, but I do think that having him stand was somewhat of a power move, being like, hey, I'm still the boss around here, like you might be popular, but I'm still the boss. All right.
Meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about rent, we spoke about groceries, we spoke about utilities, we spoke about the different ways in which people are being pushed out, and I appreciated the time with the president, I appreciated the conversation. I look forward to working together to deliver that affordability for New Yorkers.
Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
President Trump, Stephen Nelson from the New York Post. I've got a question for you and then also one for the mayor-elect. For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Could you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but...
He looks so uncomfortable. I'm sorry. It's so funny because the more Trump starts glazing Zohran, the more uncomfortable you can see everybody else in the room is. Oh God, it's hilarious. Okay, and we haven't even gotten to the glaze session part. Oh God. He just can't stand Trump is dying. Yeah, honestly, it could be that. He made Elon stand too. Yes, and it's so funny. I've seen the memes of him looking at Zohran and then him looking at Elon, and it's like, yeah, he hates, like he hates Elon. Like, I don't care. People are like, oh, they're friends again. No. He hates Elon. Like Trump hates Elon. They're just being friendly because I feel like they like have to at this point, right? So they don't continue the fissure in MAGA and the conservative movement that's happening right now. And we'll talk about that with Marjorie Taylor Greene. But like, I feel like he has to be friends with him again, or at least Elon feels like he has to be friends with him again. And I really personally believe that Trump hates him. Trump hates him still because I think Trump holds grudges, and he definitely has held a grudge about the whole, like, Trump is in the Epstein file things, which is true, but you know, I'm sure he holds a grudge because that certainly did not help him at all. And so I feel like he hates Elon. Trump never loved Elon. Yeah, honestly, you might be right, but he does not like him, and I think it's very obvious that he hates Elon. I don't think he likes JD Vance either.
That I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. He won't surprise them because they already like him.
And for Mr. Mamdani,
he said, I think he's going to do great, and I think he's going to surprise some conservative people. Oh, God. It just keeps getting better from here, too. It just keeps getting better. And I'm going to remember that. Anytime people are like, oh, he's a communist, socialist, whatever the hell, you know? Anytime they're like, oh, I hope, because someone told me that recently, because I was like, you know, I want to move to New York. I want to end up in New York. I love New York. It's one of my favorite places. And they're like, well, I hope it doesn't change. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, if it changes, it's going to be for the better. It is going to change, but it's going to be for the better. And I don't understand, like, what people think is going to happen. I don't understand what people think, like, he wants to do universal childcare. Why do you think that that's a bad thing? He wants to help the infrastructure so that you can have buses in transit that are free or affordable at least, and actually get you to where you're going, and you don't have to wait hours for the bus, or it's not complicated like it is here in Missouri. I will tell you, okay, I'm going to go on a little tangent for a little bit because I'm talking about transit, and I want to go on a tangent. Anyway, so I don't understand why people think that that's a bad thing, and people will be like, well, I hope it doesn't change, and I'm like, okay, but what do you mean change? Like, change in the better? Like, change in actually having our tax dollars do what they're supposed to do? I literally last night, I witnessed a car crash, okay? Someone that I know, like, I wasn't very close to them, but someone that I know recently died in a car crash. And it is so crazy that we live our lives just like in these, like, spending so much time in traffic in these cars, just Like our whole, like America is just that's all we care about is cars. And that like our whole entire society has been planned and has revolved around cars as transit, and it's not safe, and it's not safe. Like I literally last night, I don't know why it was so traumatizing to me because I wasn't in the car crash, but it was just like not traumatizing, but it like spooked me, you know? And but I was driving this way, someone was driving this way, and you could tell that they were driving so fast. Like it was just a regular street and they were driving so fast into a light where people were stopped. And it almost looked like they did it deliberately, like they were trying to cause a car crash. And they did. And I just saw them. I saw it. I knew it was going to happen. They hit the people in front of them, like spun and then hit a pillar because it was like right by a highway exit. So they hit like a pillar. It was terrifying. It was just like terrifying. And like, and then I had 2 other friends that were in car accidents. They're okay, but and it's just, it's so dangerous because you can't control what other people are going to do. And it's so funny because everyone looks at public transit like it's dangerous because for so long they have just been told and fed these lies that public transit is dirty and dangerous and all this other kind of bullshit. And it's like, no, actually cars are really fucking dangerous. People, you don't know what they're going to do. Like it's really fucking dangerous. There was a cyclist that just died a couple weeks ago in St. Louis. There was someone who died by a train, a train hitting them. And it's because we don't have sidewalks. We don't have anywhere where people can walk. And you're right, it is because of Ford. And I actually went on, I was a little tipsy and I went on this tangent and I was like, yeah, Ford, they literally made it so that jaywalking was illegal. It wasn't illegal until they made it illegal, and they made it illegal so that way the cars dominated the road and people couldn't just walk to their destination or walk where they wanted to. And now in the Midwest, we don't even have sidewalks. There's like no way to walk places or get to places if you don't have a car. And it's just so dangerous, and we refuse to spend any money on public transit. We refuse to live in the 21st century when it comes to public transit, and it drives me crazy. And at least in New York, they have a robust public transit system, and he's saying that he wants to focus on that, and he wants it to be attainable to everyone, and that he wants to make it better and invest in it. And the fact that people think that there's something wrong with that or that it's going to ruin that city is bonkers to me. It doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, have you never been on public transit? Have you never been on public transit? Have you never experienced that? And I guess if you haven't, then you don't get it. Then you think you believe the propaganda that it's scary and dangerous. But if you've been on it, you know that it's not. Like the worst thing that happened to me was, I got my wallet stolen once. Whoop-de-doo. I don't know. Like I was a teenager, okay? Like it's just it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Anyway, that's my little tangent for the day. Cars and guns equal freedom. Yes. People think that cars equal freedom, but they don't. They tie us down. We have to pay for insurance. We have to pay the car note. We have to pay for gas. We have to pay for repairs. Like, you know, if a crash happens like that, who knows what's going to happen, you know? And it's just like, it doesn't equal freedom. It doesn't. Sitting in traffic for hours at a time does not equal freedom. Literally going to New York and taking the subway system changed my life. Just being able to hop on this, go to the next thing, so easy. You can go to dinner and get a drink and not be worried, right? And that's the other thing. Like drunk driving is really bad. Anyway, okay. They bought trains and bus systems to destroy them. I didn't know that part. I'm gonna have to look into that. Maybe I should do a video about that because I'm very passionate about public transit. As you can see, I care a lot about it. Like I said, taking the subway in New York changed my life. And I took a bus and it was very easy and very nice. It was nicer than the ones in St. Louis, I will say. But I've taken public transit in St. Louis and it worked for me. It sucks. They need to do better. But, it should be a viable option, but it's not, because everyone's like, oh, unhoused people are going to write it. Why are you so, like, why? I just don't understand why people think that. Also, like, okay, so if they, and like, how is that going to, like, wouldn't you rather them be able to have transportation to be able to, I don't know, like, go somewhere where they can get help, or go somewhere to get shelter, maybe, like, I don't know, but it's like, don't, like, them not having a car, them not having a transportation is probably also a part of the problem. So, like, shouldn't you want that to be available to everyone? I don't know. It's just, it's so messed up to me. I just don't get it. But we'll stop talking about this. But I am going to look into that. Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to look into that because that's really interesting to me. So maybe I'll do a video about that.
It sounds like you had a productive discussion, but just days ago you referred to President Trump as a despot who had betrayed the country. You said you would be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda. Are you planning to retract any of these remarks in order to improve your relationship?
I think both President Trump and we are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers. And frankly, that is something that could transform the lives of the 8.5 million people who are currently struggling under a cost of living crisis, with 1 in 4 living in poverty. And the meeting came back again and again to what it could look like to lift those New Yorkers out of struggle and start to deliver them a city that they could do more than just struggle to afford it, but actually start to live in it.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
This is so funny to me because, like, usually Trump hates when people go after him or when people talk bad about him, and he, like, gets so mad. But I think what's different about Zohran, one, is that he's charming, he's good looking, he's very popular, he's a winner. But the other thing is that he's not being so combative to Trump, like, at his face. Like, he's actually being respectful to him. And I think that's what people like Trump, these, like, egotistical, narcissistic men, white men, they tend to, like, they want you to respect them. Like, they want you to look at them almost in, like, admiration. And because he is at least being respectful to him and not coming out, like, full force against him, in person, I think that's another reason Trump liked him, because he actually was being respectful, whereas, again, I would not be able to have this meeting with him. I would not be a respectful person, which is why, no, I could not do this. I couldn't do it. But you know what? I think it's good that he did it. I think it's a good thing. I do think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing, because now you have Trump over here, like, being like, well, I've been called worse. What are the pundits supposed to say now? What is Fox News supposed to say? What are all these right-wing pundits supposed to say now? Trump seemingly likes him. Trump seemingly approves of him, says he's going to do a good job and surprise people. What are they going to say now? Like, Trump has been their leader, their daddy for so long. What are they going to say? Like, he kind of tied their hands, which I think is great.
I think he'll change his mind after we get to working together. Yes, please.
Mr. President, Anthony Murshad from MTV Lebanon. I would like to ask you a question about the Middle East regarding, you said that Hezbollah in Lebanon is not in a good position. And Lebanon now is the final unresolved after Gaza and Syria. Given your assessment, like, what do you say for the Lebanese today? It's the Independence Day in Lebanon. And what is your next move to push toward disarmament? The disarmament of Hezbollah.
Well, we are pushing for total disarmament of Hamas and, frankly, everybody else. And we actually have peace in the Middle East. As you know, the King of Saudi Arabia just left yesterday.
No, he didn't.
We had some great meetings, and he's made a contribution toward the United States of more than $1 trillion.
Israel's been killing people every day since this ceasefire. There's no peace in the Middle East. He's lying. Also, when the Saudi, I think it was the Saudi prince, right? When he came to the White House, journalists actually had balls that day, and I was really surprised, because a lot of them who are able to get into these pressers Do not. But they asked him, they said, don't you feel like, because wasn't he, he was a part of 9/11, and they were like, 9/11 families are very disappointed that he is here right now. And he also was involved in Jamal Jacoby. I don't know how to say his last name. Jamal Jacoby. I am totally butchering his name. But he was a journalist, and they literally like chopped him up, and they asked Trump about this, and he said, well, not a lot of people liked him. Like, kind of almost saying that it was okay that he killed that journalist. And so he's using this as an example of like, oh, there was peace in the Middle East. There's not. And you having him in the White House was honestly insane and just fucking wild. Laura Loomer was losing her shit, which was quite funny, actually. This guy has the worst questions. He will ask others very bad. Yeah, honestly. Almost everyone responds to charisma. Yeah. He was investigating on MBS and Kushner. Oh, see? Yeah. Yeah, and they killed him, and that's probably why Trump didn't like him, because he was investigating Kushner. Anyway, let's keep going. But yeah, so he's lying. Trump is lying per usual.
We have now over $20 trillion coming in. No country has ever had anything like that, not even close. If you go to 2 trillion or 1 trillion, it's a lot. We have 20 or 21.
I love how Trump, sorry, I'm stopping a lot. I apologize. We're like 3 minutes in. I love how this guy keeps like nodding his head as Trump just goes on this like tangent and he always does the same things in all of his tangent. He just rinses and repeats the same thing over and over and over again. And this guy has just to sit there and be like, come on, man. He's losing his mind. He says the same thing. No matter what question you ask him, he says the same thing over and over again.
$1 trillion. I think that Hezbollah has been a problem in Lebanon, a big problem. We're working with Lebanon. We're working with everybody in the Middle East. That's another thing I think we have in common. We want to see peace in the Middle East, and we actually have now for the first time peace in the Middle East after 3,000 years. And now we're going to refine it, and I think you're going to see some very positive things happen.
There is potential to invite the Lebanese president to meet you to the White House.
I would do that, absolutely. And if the mayor would like to be here for that meeting, because I know he feels very strongly. I think you feel very, very strongly about peace in the Middle East. I think
we desperately want it.
He invited him? Oh my God, I didn't know this part. He invited him into a meeting with the president of Lebanon. He said, well, I know you care about this issue, so maybe... Oh my God. He actually really likes him. He respects him, which is wild to me, because I feel like Trump just cares about himself and he's so narcissistic, but he actually likes him. This is sincere, which is wild as shit. Oh my God, that's insane. I didn't know that part. Okay.
And that's something that I shared with the president, that when I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November on Hillside Avenue and Fordham Road, I asked them why. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to the taxpayer dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis. And I appreciated the chance to discuss both of those things.
You said a lot of my voters actually voted for him, and
1 in 10.
And I'm okay with that.
I have this hat as well.
I'll do it.
Oh my God. Well, it's true. And maybe that's why he likes him, because his voters voted for him and they're doing so bad. And all of these Republicans lost. And so he's like, okay, well, I guess if my voters voted for you. Also, why does this guy have a hat? What the hell, bro? Why do you have a hat? What is happening right now?
I'll sign it. Give it to me. I'll sign it in a minute. That's pretty.
What? You're a journalist. And you want him to sign your hat? What is wrong with you? Oh my God, this is what I'm saying. These journalists, I swear to God, a lot of them that are allowed in there are just sycophants, and that's it. Look at this guy's face. He's looking at him like, dude, you're fucking weird. You're weird, bro. What are you doing? This guy's face. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Good.
Mr. President, you've threatened to send federal troops to New York City. You both have differences when it comes to ICE agents in New York City. Mr. Mamdani, you've called ICE a rogue government entity. I wonder how you reconcile your differences on both of those issues.
Well, I think we're going to work them out, and I think that if we have known murderers and known drug dealers and some very bad people, you know, we want to get them out. And the mayor wants to have peace. We discussed this at great length, actually, maybe more than anything else. He wants to have a safe New York. Ultimately, a safe New York is going to be a great New York. If it's not safe, no matter how well we do with pricing and with anything else, we can talk about anything you want. If you don't have safe streets, it's not going to be a success. So we're going to work together. We're going to make sure that if there are horrible people there, we want to get them out. I think he wants to get them out maybe more than I do. So we'll work together. We discussed it at great length. Yes, please.
Yeah, two questions.
And he was asked, I think it was today, if he had any plans on sending the National Guard to New York, and he said no. He said no, and he said that they were going to like monitor it, but he said no, that they're needed other places. So this worked. This actually worked, and now he's not going to send National Guard, which I think is insane. It's insane that this actually worked, but it did. Now the question is for how long is this going to work? And of course, if they send in the other cities, Zohran will be against that then. So like, how is this going to play out in the long term? Who knows? But so far this has worked, which is wild. It's very wild. He comes from Lebanese Fox News. Oh, okay. That makes much more sense. Israel is live attacking his country. Yeah, and he's sitting here like, will you sign my hat? You're right. It's pathetic. It's so pathetic. I swear to God, don't journalists have like ethics or something? Why is he doing this? Like, what the hell?
One for you, Mr. President, on the BBC in a second, but first of all for the mayor-elect. You're both from different parts of the political spectrum. You're both populists, though, and I just wonder to what extent the president's campaigns...
Trump's a fake populist. Fake, not real. No, stop it. What has he done? But enrich billionaires and millionaires? These tariffs, I swear to God, some of them in the beginning were just insider trading, because what he was doing is every single time that he either called off the tariffs or said that they were going to be tariffs, there were some very rich people, some very rich CEOs and billionaires and millionaires that either sold their stocks or bought stocks or what have you, and they made shit tons of money, and even bragged about it one day. He's like, oh yeah, well, a lot of people made money. And it's like, yeah, the tariffs are ruining small businesses. They're making everything more expensive because they're a tax. But because you kept changing your mind in the beginning, it made a lot of wealthy people a lot more money. And so you think that is somehow a plus for you. You think that that's somehow great and looks good for you. But the rest of us don't see that. And so he is not populist. He is a fake populist. And I wish people would stop saying that. But again, the journalists that are allowed in this room are probably not going to say that.
Style, his techniques, his social media use inspired any part of your campaign?
Well, I actually told the president that, so much of the focus of our campaign has been on the cost of living crisis. And when we asked those New Yorkers who had voted for the president, when we saw an increase in his numbers in New York City, that came back to the same issue: cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. And they spoke about the cost of groceries, the cost of rent, the cost of Con Ed, the cost of childcare. And too often politicians are looking to lecture to New Yorkers what they should care about as opposed to listen. And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focused on that same cost of living, and that's where I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
And if I may, you
I
told me...
think we have to work a little bit. We talked about Con Edison. We have to work a little bit on getting the prices, because, we've gotten fuel prices way down, but it hasn't shown up in Con Edison. And we're going to have to talk to them. If if we're sending them fuel at a much lower price than it was a year ago, which is true, we have to get Con Edison to start lowering the rates.
Absolutely.
And if I may, last week you told me you were pushing ahead with your plans to sue the BBC for up to $5 billion. You're going to speak to Prime Minister Starmer as well. Is there any progress or any updates on those issues?
Well, we get along very well with the Prime Minister. We made a deal with UK. I like him. He's a fine person. And, you know, I think they have some big energy problems. You know, they've got windmills all over the place. They're going to have to start using other methods because their energy is out of control. Talking about...
Oh my God, he always has to talk about windmills. This is crazy.
The UK is out of control, and he's got that problem. He's got a big immigration problem, as you know, and he's got a big energy problem.
They asked you about the BBC, bro. They asked you about They asked you about you suing them. What are you? This is what?
And we talk about it. He's a good man. Prime Minister's a good man.
You have a chance to speak this week.
I haven't spoken this week.
Have you spoken to President Zelensky, or do you intend to meet with him? President Zelensky, about your plan? Are you going to meet with him?
I've spoken with their people. We have a plan. It's hard.
Why do they ask them? Like, this is something that bothers me about every like press conference that they have. They always ask him questions. Like, he'll be with someone, and instead of asking questions about the person that they're with or like what happened with the person that they're with, they ask about other things. And I get it, like, you have to ask about these other things, but it's frustrating because I'm like, okay, come on, just stick to the point, man. Why are we talking about all this other stuff?
Horrible what's happening. It's a war that should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president, and it's a shame. And I thought they should have.
Now Zohran has to sit here and listen to this like rambling. For what? For what?
Acted quicker, but it's a cold winter, and a lot of the you talk about utilities, but a lot of the big energy producing plants have been under attack, to put it mildly, to put it nicely. We have a way of getting peace, or we think we have a way of getting peace. He's going to have to approve it. Just so sad, so many people. You know, last month they lost 25,000 soldiers. This is something, we haven't seen anything like this since the Second World War. And they're averaging 6,000 or 7,000 a week between the two of them, dead soldiers. And it goes on and on.
It's not funny, it's just the way he's saying it. Okay, I'm going to look at the transcripts.
I think they're getting reasonably close, but
when they get back
I don't want to predict. I would have said that would have been one of my early ones. I did 8 peace deals of countries, including India, Pakistan. You could even go, in fact, they're coming here in a week.
He did not do the peace deal for India, Pakistan. He did not. They said that he had nothing to do with it. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do this. Thank you.
I want to ask the mayor-elect about a House resolution just passed overwhelmingly to condemn socialism, including with 86 Democrats, all of House Dem leadership, and the minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries, despite his endorsement of you.
Oh my God, I hate the Democrats so much. They literally did it when Zohran was there, which is like, again, who are they fighting against? Who are they fighting against? Who are they against? Because everyone in it's like, you know what they're doing? They're doing what Zohran said. They're lecturing their base. Their base is like, no, we want social safety nets. And if you want to call that socialism, so be it. And they're like, well, no, but you just don't understand. It's like in Halloween Town when her mom was telling Marnie, there's just some things about Halloween you just don't understand. It's Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer looking at us being like, there's just some things about socialism that you don't understand. It's really ridiculous and it's really stupid, and it is. It's like they're looking down on us, or they're trying to be like, oh, we condemn socialism, like, just so you know, all of you people out there who thought this was going to be the Democratic Party, you're wrong. No, we get it. You guys are beholden to corporate interests and you want to keep getting that money. And that's ultimately what you're here for. And you could care less about actually finding anyone about anything. And it's the truth. And it's the truth. They again have worked harder to fight against their left flank than to actually get anything done. It's ridiculous and it's pathetic. And Which is why I'm very confused at being like, oh, well, now's not the time to primary Hakeem Jeffries. No, now is exactly the time. Now is exactly the time to primary him. Now is exactly the time to primary everyone. Everyone.
What's your reaction to that?
I have to be honest with you, I focused very little on resolutions. Frankly, I've been focusing...
Condemn socialism.
I understand. I think the focus is on the work.
You can tell this lady doesn't like him because she's like, on socialism. On socialism. And she's looking at him like she's so angry. She's like, but don't you like socialism? Aren't you a socialist? She really thought she ate that up with that question. She really thought she was gonna like get him or something.
Hand, I can tell you I am someone who is a democratic socialist. I've been very open about that. And I know there might be differences about ideology, but the place of agreement is the work that needs to be done to make New York City affordable. That's what I look forward to.
And I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
And Mr. President, I wanted to ask you...
I don't know why Forbes has it on the journalist this whole time. I'm sorry. I don't know why they're not putting it on Trump and Zohran. But I love that part because she thinks that she's really doing something right. And it's funny because there's a lot of other like journalists that ask him questions that I think are supposed to be like gotcha, and Trump like stands up for him, and he kind of did it in here too. He was like you can call me a fascist, I don't care, it's easier, just say yes. And because he was going to try to do the charming, like, well, because he's very good at talking around an answer. Okay, he's very good at it. He's very charming, and I do think, he's going to do good things. But let's just be honest, he's very good about talking around an answer and not giving a specific answer, which is why him going against a primary against Hakeem Jeffries was so silly to me, because I'm like, you're so good at not giving an actual answer, you could have done it, but instead you didn't. Anyway, he's very good at not giving, he's about talking around an answer, right? Not giving a definitive yes or no. And so I think she and a lot of these other journalists really thought that they were going to do something. And then Trump just ends up being like, it's fine, whatever, I don't care. And then later he stands up for him. It's wild. This is wild to me. I knew it was going to go well because I had a feeling that Zohran would again, he's charismatic, he's very charming. I figured it would go well. I did not think it was going to be like this. I did not think that Trump was literally going to be like, yeah, sure, call me a fascist, I don't care. For months, they have been calling anyone who called them a fascist like traitor or inciting violence or Antifa. And now he's like, yeah, sure, call me a fascist, I don't care. It's wild. The worst. It's good they gave you a list to vote out. Oh yeah. I don't know what that's I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's see. Okay, let's
also about this Ukraine plan. President Zelensky said.
Okay, sorry, we're gonna go through this. Okay, all right, let's see. Here we go.
Mr. President, the cost of living is something that you and Mr. Mamdani seem to agree on. Democrats have run New York City for a long time, Mr. Mamdani. Do you see Democrat policy specifically as being a problem? And I'd like that be a question that both of you could answer in New York City.
Look, I think that there are many things in our city where we have to own the responsibility of it, things that existed long before the president was the president. And those are also part of the message of our campaign was to take on a broken politics of the past. And I ran against a number of candidates who represented different versions of that past. And what we found time and again is that working people were left behind in the politics of our city. And what we're looking to do is put those people right back at the heart of our politics so that we don't have a situation where we're in the wealthiest city in the history of the world, and yet 1 in 5 can't even afford $2.90 for a Metro card.
Mr.
President,
Malzahn,
we had some interesting conversation, and some of his ideas really are the same ideas that I have.
I doubt that, but also I know what he was trying to do, that journalist, but I actually think it's a decent question, because I don't think it's necessarily Democrats. Well, I think it's corporate Democrats' fault, and I think it is like the financial capital of is it the world? At least the United States. And I do think that like a lot of corporate Democrats, like Andrew Cuomo, and Eric Adams, of course, have done things, have done things for corporations, have done things to help the wealthiest in that city, and which in turn hurts everybody else. And so I do think that, yeah, these corporate Dems, these people, like Eric Adams is not a Democrat. I don't care. Neither is Andrew Cuomo. Like half the things they say or half the things that they do are so conservative that it's wild that I think that they can even call themselves Democrats, but here we are. And like, so yeah, I do think that there's blame, but I don't think what I think people, what I think is funny is that right-wingers or conservatives want to call him a Democrat and put him in this light as he's like the Democrats, which makes him bad, but then they also want to put him in this light of like he's an extremist and he's not one of the good Democrats, right? And so it's like, okay, well, which one is it? You're just like kind of switching it up when it helps you most on what he is, right? And he wouldn't be a normal Democrat that's gonna sit here and enrich the corporations and the wealthiest in the city. And so his ideas are different than that. So it's not like a typical corporate Dem policy agenda.
But a big thing on cost, the new word is affordability. Another word is just groceries. It's sort of an old-fashioned word, but it's very...
Oh my God, here we go. The groceries. Groceries is not an old-fashioned word, and he said that affordability was a new word. See, this is what I'm saying. I couldn't do this because I think I would literally laugh. Like, I think I would literally laugh at him in this moment because what do you mean groceries is an old word? What do you mean affordability is a new word? He's saying affordability is a new word because everyone's asking him about it and everyone's talking about it. And that's why he's saying it's a new word. I don't even think he knows the difference between groceries and affordability. Like, I don't think he knows the definitions of those two words. Like, I am convinced that he thinks that these are things that people are just running on and they're not like actual things that people need. Like, people need cheaper groceries. People need affordable housing. Like, this is crazy that like he doesn't understand these words. He just thinks this is crazy to me.
Very accurate. And they're coming down high. They were, we had, both of us, we had the highest inflation in the history of our country the last 4 years under the Biden administration. And we've got inflation down now to a normal number. It's going to go even a little bit lower than that. Katie, do you have something?
Mr. President, thank you so much. Mr. Mamdani often talks about New York City being covered by international law, that they will follow international law. Doesn't often talk about the U.S. Constitution. What is your response to it?
What does that have to do? It doesn't talk about the U.S. Constitution. Where's Israel in the U.S. Constitution? Where's that? Where's that? Where's that at? Where's that at? Where is sending money to Israel committing a genocide in our Constitution? What are you saying? He doesn't talk about our Constitution much. What are you saying? No, he's talking about international law and saying that if Benjamin Netanyahu comes to New York, he will arrest him, as he should, because that is international law. So, he doesn't talk about the Constitution. Okay, like, come on, man. That was supposed to be like a little, burn or something stupid, just stupid.
Well, I don't know what you're referring to in terms it can be covered by international law, local law. It's covered by a lot of laws, but it's covered by U.S. law. Are you referring to anything in particular?
He just says that they're a city that endorses and enforces international law.
She just said she doesn't even have a question. Your question is about Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, I can make that conclusion, but I don't think Trump can. Like, what is your question? Like, you're not even asking a question. What? Like, I don't think Trump is able to jump to that conclusion, ma'am.
Is that at odds with U.S. law at all?
Would you want to? Do you want to respond?
Yeah, I think
He's having Zohran respond because he doesn't have a response because he doesn't understand the question because there was no question.
what I've shared with the president is our desire to not only follow the laws of our own city, laws that protect New Yorkers, but also a desire for consistency in our politics across the board. And that's something that we've talked about and something that I know many New Yorkers want.
Will you work with ICE then? Mr. President? Will you work with ICE then?
We discussed...
This bitch hates him. Oh my God, that's actually really funny. She is so mad. Like, she is so mad that she's even in the same room as him right now. She's like, so you're going to work with ICE? So you're going to work with ICE? Oh my God, she's such a mean girl. What? Oh my God. She's actually funny. She's my comedic relief. This is hilarious. She's so mad. Oh my God, she's so mad. Trump loves him, girl. Why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Oh my God.
ICE and New York City, and I spoke about how the laws that we have in New York City allow for New York City government to speak to the federal administration for about 170 serious crimes. The concerns that many New Yorkers have are around the enforcement of immigration laws on New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and most recently we're talking about a mother and her 2 children, how this has very little to do with what that is.
Mr. Mamdani.
I like that. I like that he brought it back to the people that are actually being brutalized and being like, hey, like, this is not about serious crime. This is not about whatever. Like, this is about protecting New Yorkers. And a mother getting kidnapped in the middle of the street is not helping anyone, actually, at all. It's only hurting the community.
Well, what it is, we discuss crime. More than ICE per se, we discuss crime. And he doesn't want to see crime, and I don't want to see crime. And
why is Forbes having a close-up of a cameraman? What is this person doing? Who is in charge of this camera right now? Jesus Christ.
I have very little doubt that we're not going to get along on that issue. He wants to, and he said some things that were very interesting as to housing construction. And
what is this?
He wants to see houses go
up. What are
up.
they even
looking
to see
at? A lot of houses.
See, now I'm just mad at the guy on the camera at Forbes. What are we doing? We're so far in this. I'm like, I don't know if I should find another video, but what are they doing? Why are they closing up? Why are they closing up on a photographer? What are they doing? Trump is talking. What? This is crazy. This is crazy. What is it? It just doesn't make any sense.
It's created a lot of apartments built, etc. And you know, we actually people would be shocked, but I want to see the same thing.
Mr. Mamdani, the anti-Israel protesters.
Yeah.
Mr. President, I wanted to know one of the.
There's a really funny video of him later. I believe this is Jack Posobiec. There's a really funny video of him later that I can't wait to show you. But anyway, let's continue.
Policies as well that Mayor-elect Mamdani talked a number of times about on the campaign was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities.
Did he say that? Did he say that? I have a feeling that's not what he said.
And putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention anything about America or Christians or white people in general.
You didn't talk about Christians in your acceptance speech. Where? Oh my God! Why are you so insufferable? Why is he so insufferable? You didn't talk about Christians in your. Why would he have to talk about Christians in his acceptance speech? What? Why? Ridiculous. The victim complex is astonishing. And I have a feeling have a feeling that what Zohran probably said, I'm not sure what he's referring to, but I have a feeling that what he probably said was that we are taxing, like, lower income communities have a lot of burden because, and this is what my conservative family always yells about, they're like, oh, well, you know, rich people pay more taxes. The amount may be more, but regular people pay more of their income in taxes, a percentage of their income more in taxes than more wealthy people do. Wealthy people do not pay the same percentage of their income, right? They actually evade a lot of fucking taxes, okay? They evade it a lot, and they have people who they pay to help them evade it. So, and it's funny because you can say, okay, well then how come Trump evaded taxes and you think that's cool? And they're like, yeah, it is cool. He's just smart. Okay, so then you agree rich people evade taxes. You just think it's cool and smart because they're able to do it and you're not, which is dumb. But anyway, like, and so what he's saying is that minority communities, they probably bear the burden more than people who are very wealthy, who tend to be predominantly white. That is probably what Zohran said, but the way he's framing it is kind of insane.
General, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court. And the president and I spoke about the importance of not only building more housing, but also making sure that regulation of housing is something that is manageable to actually get through and not the cause of yet another weight that we see in our
But to
city.
be clear, you're continuing this idea of race-based property taxes.
No, to be very clear,
That's what you said.
No,
Yes, it is.
the use of
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh my God, he's so insufferable.
the term was a description of neighborhoods, not a description of intent.
Yes,
So you
yes,
intend to
that's what I
tax the
meant.
whiter neighborhoods more?
No, we intend
Oh
to.
my God, no, they intend to tax the wealthier neighborhoods, which tend to be whiter neighborhoods because of redlining and because of historical oppression where Black people were enslaved and they were promised all of these things that they did not get, which is why they deserve reparations, why reparations should happen. But also then Jim Crow happened and there were so many people who were not able to own houses. There were so many people, there were neighborhoods that were being burned down and the cops were a part of it and the government was a part of it, okay? Like, I'm sorry, this is something that drives me so insane because I've had to explain this to like people in my family so much, and it's like a lot of people, like, they just don't care and they're just racist and they don't even want to hear they don't want to hear it, because if you look back at history, if you actually look at American history, if you actually like study American history, you will see the reason they want to be like, oh, you just want to go against white people. No, the reason that more white people are in those wealthier neighborhoods is because of the history of oppression. And because when you have white people who, like, my mom owns a house, right? I will inherit that, right? That's a fucking privilege. Not everybody else is going to get that. And when for centuries, well, maybe not for centuries, but when for decades, your family were not even able to own a home, how are you going to give down that wealth that then puts people back decades, right? And while white people were able to accumulate wealth or just accumulate property to give down to their kids, other people were not. Other minorities were not, which is why shit like this is so frustrating, because you're like, well, you said that you wanted to tax the white neighborhoods more. No, he said he wanted to tax the wealthier neighborhoods. They just happen to be whiter neighborhoods. They're not all white, but they happen to be whiter neighborhoods because of the historical oppression in this country and because of things which includes like redlining. And so it's just so insane. I hate when people do this. Because it's so fucked up and it's so disingenuous. And he knows. He's like, he probably believes it because he's probably a racist piece of shit. But like, I don't know. I just, like, God, it just drives me insane. It drives me insane. Okay. the Dems voting against socialism, vote them out 100%. Excuse me, sir, didn't say America. Do you think that's bad? Right. Technically, it used to be progressively a higher rate the wealthier they are. Exactly. If you need... Yeah, no, like that is insane. Like, you're right. America, like, white people and Christians are the predominant people in this country. Okay, like they are the predominant people. They are typically the people that have the most privilege. Okay, and so to be like, well, you didn't talk about us in your speech is like so insane. Like, cry me a fucking river. I don't care. Like, I don't, like, it's hard for me because I do have people in my life who are religious, and like sometimes it's hard for me to understand that because I'm so like against it, and I'm trying not to be so against it. I'm trying to be like, okay, well, you know, if it helps you and it doesn't hurt anyone, then fine. But like, I just don't understand it, and I don't get it, and it frustrates me that it's being used in this way to go after people. And yeah, anyway, okay, that was my that was my rant because he's being incredibly racist and it's pissing me off. Yes, we used to that. Okay, one more rant. So a lot of people, you know, a lot of conservatives, they're like, oh, well, the 50s were the best, right? Even though they don't want to talk about, again, the racism that was happening in that time, segregation and all that. They don't want to talk about any of that when it comes to the 1950s, but they love the 1950s, right? Something that they don't realize is during that time, you're right, people, like, the tax rate was much higher for wealthier people. And that's why they like that is one of the reasons they were able to do. Also, unions were much higher. There was a much higher union rate. And so all of these different things come together, and that's why it was successful back then. Not because there was segregation, not because women were bound to their marriage and couldn't get out of it. No, it was because of the tax rate and because the unionization. Like, it is because of these actual, like, tangible things that helped people, right? And yet in America, we don't see it like that, and everyone wants to see it as like, no, it was because, like, it's because we got too woke. Like, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's literally just shielding you from the real reason that it was, like, the real reason that people were doing better economically back then. And instead of learning that real reason, you instead would rather be racist and say that it was like, oh, because we're woke. Like, it's just stupid. Anyway, 90%. Yeah, exactly. And I've told that to people in my family who are conservative, and they just don't believe it. They can't. I don't know what it is, but something that happened in Wicked, sorry if this is a spoiler, it shouldn't be, but something that happened in Wicked is, you know, like, Jeff Goldblum, who's the wizard, he is like, you know, Elphaba wants to tell people he's a liar, and he's like, well, you can tell them, but they're not going to believe you. Like, you can tell them, but they're not going to believe you. And because they want to believe the lies, and they want to believe, you know, they want to believe the propaganda. And so you telling them that is wrong is not going to change their mind, even if the facts are on your side. And I feel like that was like a perfect analogy to right now, because it's like, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what facts you throw at people. It doesn't matter what history you throw at people. If they don't want to see the truth, if they want to believe the propaganda, then it doesn't matter what you say. They're going to believe it no matter what. And I feel like this is, I feel like MAGA and conservatives are a very good example of that right now. See Wicked. It's very, very good. It's very, very good.
Create a fair property tax system because we want a New York City that is not only fair and equitable, but also one that every New Yorker can afford.
Mr. President.
Yeah, you look like a jackass, Jack Posobiec. Look at jackass.
Mr. Mamdani, anti-Israel protesters just targeted a synagogue in New York. Are you concerned about Jewish New Yorkers feeling welcome and safe in the city? And President Trump, you've threatened...
This camera is just going everywhere. Put Trump in Zohran. This camera is just going everywhere, man. And this lady, I forgot her name, but she always looks insane. Like, she always looks like she's like losing her mind or something. Like, her face always looks like this. It always looks like that. Like, she's, like, surprised.
Threatened to cut off federal funding to New York City. What policies would prompt you to do that? Would that be city-run grocery stores? Would it be something else?
Well, I think if we didn't get along, whether it's cut off or just make it a little bit difficult or not give as much, we want to see, I use the term, we don't want good money going after bad, and we don't want that to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I did say that, subject to what policies are being set. We had a meeting today that actually surprised me. He wants to see no crime. He wants to see housing being built. He wants to see rents coming down, all things that I agree with. Now, we may disagree how we get there. The rent coming down, I think one of the things I really gleaned very much today, he'd like to see him come down, ideally, by building a lot of additional housing.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate way. He agrees with that, and so do I. But if I read the newspapers and the stories, I don't hear that. But I heard him say it today.
Cameraman is killing me, man.
Very positive step. No, I don't expect. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help.
Okay, anyway, that was important. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him, which I think is wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Like, I hate Trump. I don't like him at all. I think he's a fascist. I think he's a wannabe dictator. I think that he is a horrible person inside and out. But if he likes Zohran and if he helps him get what he wants accomplished, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because then people are going to have lower rents. People are going to, be successful. And if he can be successful as a mayor and actually get these policies through, I think that'll be very good for the future of the Democratic Party, because I think now the left flank will be able to have examples of, like, see, it worked here. It did work here. It worked in one of the most populated cities in America. Excuse me, because that's always what people say, like, well, there's too many people here to do the social safety net stuff. And so if you have examples of, like, this worked, this actually worked here, I think that's a good thing. So I don't know. We'll see.
Because I want New York City to be great. Look, I love New York City. It's where I come from. I spent a lot of years there. Now I'm right here.
Man is killing me, man.
We took a big setback with the mayor that we had, named de Blasio. I thought it was a tremendous setback for the city. I think this mayor can do some things that are going to be really great.
Mr. President, thank you.
Man, she just gets to ask all the questions.
Mr. President, you're a billionaire. You have a different address nowadays than you used to, but you used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes
Wait, okay. That's when Jack Posobiec loses his mind. Wait. He, like, does an eye roll. Okay, wait. Look at him.
You used to call New York City home. Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought. I think he's...
He does the eyebrow. He's like... I love it. Oh, I love it.
I want him to do a great job, and we'll help him do a great job. He may have different views.
He went back. Okay.
But in many ways,
leaving.
We were discussing when Bernie Sanders was out of the race, I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had no idea.
Went to the back.
Because he was strong on not getting ripped off in trade and lots of the things that I've practiced and been very successful on. Tariffs, a lot of things. Bernie Sanders and I agreed on much more than people thought. And when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me.
Unfortunately.
And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, just turned out to be a statistical truth. But no, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh my God, I am so excited for that answer, because again, all the people are like, oh, it's going to be a hellhole. There's all these people being so insanely racist and saying it's going to be like a third world country now or something. ridiculous and racist. So I love that Trump is like, yeah, no, I feel comfortable. I think he's going to do great. Like, again, what are these pundits going to say now? What are they going to say now? What can they say? What can they say? They can't say anything. He just disarmed all of them. He's like, yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. I think he's going to do great. Fucking wild.
Question for you, but a very quick one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Aren't trains green?
Okay, wait, I saw this clip. This is my favorite clip. Okay, we gotta start over. This, she is wild. This woman is wild. She really hates him. Like, she really hates him. And she really thought that she was doing something with all of these questions against him. And every time Trump swoops in to defend him, and she's just standing there looking stupid. Okay, this is great. Let's start this over. I'm very excited for this one.
Question for you, but a very quick one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
I'll use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
There is a bus that goes.
Well, I know, but if he flew, that's a lot quicker too. No.
Your time is
he's working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plane takes you 30 minutes, and driving takes you a
And
long
Mr.
time.
President, I was wondering if you could clear up.
Oh my God, wait. Is that Emily back there? Look at Emily. She's loving this. You know, I don't agree with Emily on anything, really. She annoys me. I watch Breaking Points a lot. Emily drives me crazy, as does Sagar a lot of the time. But I can admit that they will go against Trump a lot, so I appreciate that. But she's loving this, man. Look at her back there. I didn't know she was back there. She's loving this. And she is not. She was not expecting him to stand up for him like that. And she was trying to spin it because he was like, well, he's a hard worker. He has a lot to do. Like, you know, we need to make sure he saves time. She was like in the midst of trying to save herself from looking silly by saying, oh, you're a busy man. You know, your time is precious. But then he said that about Zohran. And then he stood up for him. It was like, it's okay. And they always try to do this. Like, oh, my family does this. Well, they take planes. Okay, man. Or they took a jet to that one thing in California. I'm like, okay, man. All right. Like, listen. I do think that it's hard. It's hard to be an ethical consumer of capitalism. Like, it is. It's really hard. They're like, you know, the saying, there's no ethical consumption in capitalism. And so it's like, it is very hard to live within this system and not contribute to it, or not contribute to you know, of course, the climate crisis and all this other kind of things. It's hard to not contribute to these issues because we live in this system, we live in this society. But they always try to do this, and it's like, what? What do you think? What kind of question is this? This is ridiculous. And I'm glad he stood up for him, because it was a ridiculous question. It was a dumb question. Like, I'm sure that both of their schedules are very tight, and trying to make things better for the environment does not mean that you have to completely end air travel. NASA has been working, and I've talked about this before, NASA has been working on some really cool things to make air travel more efficient, more energy efficient, and better for the environment. But guess what? They've been cutting NASA's funds, so it's probably not going to happen anymore. But they were working on it. It was some really cool stuff too, but it's probably not going to happen anymore, unfortunately, and I'm really pissed off about it. I love NASA. But anyway, we're not going to go on that tangent right now, because that was a fun moment. That was a very fun moment. And yeah, she looks silly, as she should.
Some confusion around a Washington Post report. There's this explosive report that the Coast Guard is no longer going to characterize swastikas and nooses as hate symbols. Oh my gosh, so much has happened. DHS called that a lie and fake news. Can you clear up?
I don't know anything about it. When was this written?
I think yesterday.
Well, look, the Coast Guard's an incredible group of people. I know very well.
So the Coast Guard said that they weren't going to classify nooses and swastikas as hate symbols, and then they, like, the next day reversed it. So I don't know. It didn't surprise me when they did it. I was like, oh yeah, that's not surprising to me, actually. at all whatsoever. Also, do you want to know why it's not surprising? Because Graham Plattner, he had that skull and bones tattoo, and he went through many government screenings and all this kind of stuff of his tattoos, and they never flagged it, which means there are probably a lot of hate symbols that they don't consider hate symbols or don't flag within government screenings, which is concerning. So that ultimately didn't surprise me because of that and because this is a fascist government. But they did reverse it because people were rightly upset. But yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so let's see. I don't know if there's any. Okay, so this is the last part I want to watch, and then we'll move on to some of the reaction because the reactions are very funny.
I'd like to ask Mr. Mamdani, you've accused the U.S. government of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of...
Wow, Emily's over here agreeing with Zohran. Look at her. She said, yeah, he's right. Yeah. Funny.
Human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers, and I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
Do you agree that President Trump did do a peace and he worked hard to make the peace? Because he worked hard to do the peace in the Middle East and everywhere.
He worked hard to do the peace. There was no peace. And also, I'm really happy that he called it a genocide in front of everyone, in front of the president and in the White House. It is a genocide, and he called it a genocide. Thank goodness.
What do you agree with that?
I appreciate all efforts towards peace, and I shared with President Trump that when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people...
I also think him making it personal and talking about his voters and voters that know his family and stuff, I also think that that's how he got Trump on his side.
We're tired of seeing our tax dollars fund endless wars, and I also believe that we have to follow through on the international human rights, and I know that still today those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking of.
Yes.
Mr. President, question for Mr.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you view the mayor-elect as the true leader of the Democrat Party? And do you think Leader Schumer's and Leader Jeffries, have to follow his lead?
Well, look, I hope they have great leaders. This is a man that right now I think is focused in New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself the leader of the Democrats? I think it's more appropriate for him.
I consider myself the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City, and I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford to live there.
By the way, being the mayor of New York City is a big deal. I always said, one of the things I would love to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. It could go great, or it can go in a different direction, and I think you really have a chance to make it great.
Mr. President, you said you love New York City. Mr. Mom.
He really likes him. He sincerely likes him. It's so funny to me. He actually really likes him. It's wild because Trump doesn't like anyone. Trump doesn't respect anyone, but he really likes him. You know what else I was thinking about? I think he also just wants people to listen to him, right? He just wants people to listen to his stories. He's an old man. He just wants people to listen to his crazy stories, And I feel like Zohran is such a good listener and and so I'm sure he listened to him and I'm sure the way he responded was very charming but still respectful, but he's not I think the other thing that he respects about him is he's not folding, right? He's still standing for what he believes in, and he's not folding to Trump. And I think he respects that because I think a lot of the Republicans in his party and a lot of the people, in the Democrats, he knows that they don't actually believe what they're saying, right? Like, he's aware that they don't actually care and that they're all, like, most of them are all just corrupt. And I think he's aware of that. And so he feels like he has this power over them and that he can manipulate them. And if that they don't listen to him, then, F them and he can find someone else. But I think when there's someone there who's being respectful to him, but then also being, like, standing his ground, I think he respects that because he's like, okay, well, you're not going to just fold under my pressure, like I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't know. What do you all think? That was insane. Like, that was honestly insane. It's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me that he actually sincerely likes him. It's wild. Dumbass lady. I know, she was crazy. Reminds me of Planters, the army wouldn't let me in if I was racist. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, I mean, I think they would have. I think they would have. And I think I think the fact that his tattoo wasn't flagged is a big problem that we're not talking about, I think the fact that he was able to get through so many screenings and never got flagged was probably an issue that we should care about, like, a lot, is my personal opinion. But yeah, okay, so now I am so excited. We're going to watch, oh no, I just exited out of something. Okay, so we're going to watch, actually, I just exited out of a tab. I need to look into, I always exit out of a tab. Okay. Sorry, you're going to see a really weird, a really weird thing. I just need to reopen this tab and I always forget the command. Okay. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay. All right, sorry about that. Okay. The FDR portrait photo by Mamdani was brilliant to induce the idea to Trump plan to. Okay, yes, I'm going to go over that. So we're going to go over that now. So ever since this happened, memes and the media has been taken by storm, right? There are people on the right who are coping and don't know what to do. There are people with memes that are just hilarious. And Donald Trump on True Social quite literally photo dumped pictures of Zohran and him and of Zohran and them in front of the FDR portrait. Wild. And it's like he was literally like giddy. He was like posting photos of him and Zohran, just like, here, let me show you. I'm going to show you. Oh my God, this was the best part, honestly. This was honestly the best part. Because you can tell he like actually really likes him. Like, he actually really likes him. Okay, so okay, so listen. Okay, so this is them. This is them at the White House, and he posted this. They're in front of the portrait. He just posts this. He doesn't post anything. He just posts this. Oh my God. So he just posts this, then he posts, I think he posted it twice. And then he posted this. He said it was a great honor meeting Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City. It was a great honor. It was a great honor to meet him. It was a great honor. That's what he said. He said it was a great honor. I just want to know. I want to know how people who hate Zohran so much and who are Trump supporters, I just want to know how they're handling this in their mind. Like, I'm really curious what is happening right now. Like, I'm so curious what they're thinking. Like, I'm so curious. But yeah, he was really excited. He's still going after everyone. But anyway, he was really excited to meet him and was like so excited that he was there. So that's really, really funny. And then what happened next was actually, I think it was today that he went out and did not a press conference, but like he talked to the media right before he went on, I don't know if he went on Air Force One or what he was doing, but he literally looked completely different. He looked like a whole new person. He wasn't wearing a suit. He was wearing a turtleneck, and it looked like he wasn't orange anymore. And apparently there's this picture of Zohran in a burgundy turtleneck. in the same outfit. It's a classic case. It's a classic case of, do I want to be this person, or do I do I want to be with this person? Anyway, I thought that was funny. So, well, that's not it, but this is the memes. This is one of the memes. So, never seen this man not in a suit or a golf fit. 20 minutes with Mamdani, and it got him dressing like an old village queen going to a poetry reading. Great honor. I know, it's so funny. I'm like, he only talks, the only other time he talks this way is about like dictators. Like his fascination with like dictators and autocrats. Like that's the only other time that he talks like so highly of people, right? It's so wild. It's so funny. An impossibly charismatic guy once in a generation, 100%. 100%. This one is Trump after being called Habibi once. Oh my God, so good. So good. Okay. Okay, so this one says, important thing to understand about Donald is that he loves a handsome, charismatic man. And then showing the part where it says, why didn't you take the train? I use every form of transit. If he flew, that'd be a lot quicker. He's working very hard. That's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. He stuck up for him like 3 different times. Actually wild. Like actually wild. He's like, no, I think he's gonna do great. I want him to do great. This was my favorite one. This made me like audibly just like lose my shit because it was so funny. Mamdani turned his haters into the waiters at the table of success. He sure did. That was my favorite one. Okay. Okay, so this was a conservative right before the meeting, right? It says Mamdani enters the Oval Office today to only be greeted by Tom Homan, who then personally escorts the communists back to Uganda. So that's what this guy thought was gonna happen, right? That's what this guy thought was gonna happen. And now he said, I thought Mamdani was supposed to be a fascist dictator. What the heck is going on at the White House? Oh my God, this is so funny to me. This is so funny to me because something that a lot of people have been talking about is how like Trump supporters know Trump the least, and how they actually have like no idea who he is or what makes him tick as a person. And I think that's really funny because it's very true. Like a lot of people who support him are very like, or, you know, people who are very MAGA or who like Trump, they are, I think he's like this catch-all of who they want him to be. So whatever they want him to be, or whatever they think he is, that's what they believe, right? So it's not really him, it's whoever they want him to be. And that's why when he does these trading cards, he looks, you know, he's all buff and it's like a totally different person. Like that's not him at all. But there are people who think he's like this big crusader, like again, Wicked. Apparently someone saw Wicked with their conservative like family member and they thought that Elphaba was Trump. Which is a psychotic way to view that movie, but or the play or the musical. But it's a wild way to wild that you came out with that. Like that's what you came away with. But I think that's what it is though. It's just projection. They whatever they want him to be is who they think he is. So that's why he's everything, you know, he's anything and everything to him, right? Because he is just this strong man that they want to fix everything for them. That they feel is going to fix everything, who's going to get everything that they want done. They see him as this strong man. And they don't understand that, like, he's not. like, they don't understand him at all. And, like, I've had conversations with conservative family members about Trump, And it does be, and I've had the same experience when it strikes me just how much they don't know or don't understand about him. Because like, I'll go back to like his history of like, yeah, no, he got like, he is racist. They're like, he's not racist. Name one racist thing he's done. When he was younger, him and his dad actually got in trouble because they wouldn't rent out their properties to black people. Like, no, he's racist. He called out the why can't I think of their names? But the group of why can't I remember their names? It was in New York, and I think it was like 5 black men, but I think they were pretty young back then, and they were charged with a crime that they didn't commit, and he to this day says that they're guilty, even though they've been let out and it's been proven that they did not do it. Central Park 5, thank you very much. I remember telling someone in my family, I was like, he literally took out a whole page in like the newspaper calling for their deaths. And they're not guilty. They literally have been let out. Like, don't you think that's a little insane? Like, don't you think that's crazy? That's a crazy thing to do. And they were like, they didn't even believe it because they didn't know what happened. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they just foundationally don't understand Donald Trump. And they don't understand who he is. And because they have such faith in him, because they are projecting all of their hopes and dreams onto him of what they want him to be, any type of reality check or any type of facts about him just don't penetrate their belief system, right? But when you see stuff like this, that's why I'm so curious of how people think or what they think. And I'll have to ask someone in my family. But I'm very curious how they're dealing with this, because they really thought that he thought that Zohran was a communist. Like, they really thought that he thought that, you know, he was this horrible person, right? And now that they're saying he was just doing that and it wasn't true, and that all these people calling him like a jihadist, all these people calling him names they don't actually believe this shit, that it's just, they're just saying shit. And Donald Trump even said that in the interview. They asked him about not Alyssa Slotkin, why am I forgetting everybody's names today? Elise Stefanik, because she's running for governor in New York. She's called Zohran like a jihadist. She's called him all these crazy racist things, right? And he's like, oh, well, you know, you say things when you campaign. He admitted it. He admitted that all this stuff they're saying about him is bullshit. So it's like, I want to know how they're comprehending this in their minds, because they're obviously lying when they say this shit, and it's proof. I get those names confused too. I know, right? They're very similar names. But I guess this is how they're coping, just being like, I don't understand. Like, that's what I've seen the most about people, is like, I don't understand. I think it was, what was it? It wasn't OAN. I think it was Newsmax that said, JD Vance must be jealous. That took me out, man. They said JD Vance must be jealous. He really likes Zohran. That took me out, man. Oh, God. And then, okay, so then this is the other one. Showdown with Socialism. So this is what Fox News was airing before it. And then it, like, well, Fox News, who won the showdown? They were literally like, Socialism Showdown. They really thought that he was going to be this strong man against Zohran, and he, like, melted in his presence. And that's the thing, is like, Trump actually is not the strong man. He wants to be one. And so when there are other people who are like stronger or more popular or more charismatic than him, he tends to admire them instead of trying to be the strong man around them, if that makes sense. But yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, so there's a lot. Okay, so these are the two pictures of what Zohran wore and then what Trump was wearing. I think, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. So literally like the same outfit, which is wild. And this is my favorite. Regina George wore army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops. It's really what it's giving, honestly. Okay, sorry, there's a bunch of wicked stuff. I have so much Wicked stuff. I am obsessed. Anyway, you should go see Wicked. I might do a video about that. But the one thing I wanted to talk about, another video I wanted to watch is, so this is, okay. This is a girl who is very pro-Israel, and she is crazy. And I think we've talked about her before. But she, I think, is losing her mind about this. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Sorry, I don't want this sidebar go away. Okay, thank you. Like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, sorry. What the F? I thought that was fake. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, were you talking about Trump being in a turtleneck? You thought that was fake? No, I think it actually happened. Like, he looks like identical to him in that, which is really, really funny. Anyway, okay, so she is an influencer. She's a pro-Israel influencer, and I think we've talked about her before, probably when she was talking about Zohran, and then I know Matt Bernstein has done like a whole episode about her before, and I watched it, and she's crazy, but she's losing her shit, okay? She's losing her mind. Let's watch this, okay.
Looks like we finally got that stupid smile off Zohran Mamdani's face. You know, I wonder how this meeting is resonating with all of those who voted for Zohran Mamdani. I'm sure they just love seeing him going to kiss President Trump's ring. He looks like a scared little child who is meeting the leader of the free world and is intimidated. What I know about President Trump is that he has been willing to meet with anyone, talk to anyone, even willing to work with anyone as long as they're willing to work with him. So I wouldn't read too much into this meeting. What I think is that if Zohran Mamdani does something that President Trump doesn't like, he's going to come down on him incredibly hard. Then he'll be able to say, well, I met with him and I gave him a chance and he turned. So I think this is all just part of the strategy. Looks like we finally got that stupid smile off Zohran Mamdani.
She's delusional. That's okay. So this is the meta. So like, this is how they're going to cope with it. They're just saying, well, he meets with everyone and it's okay because eventually he'll hate him. He meets with everyone and it's okay because this is just a part of the strategy. Oh my God, that is delusional. Oh my God, bro. Zohran did not look scared at all. He dominated that meeting. He dominated the whole he dominated this whole dynamic. He dominated the whole thing. What are you saying? That's wild. That's wild. The cope is truly coping. That's insane, actually. Oh my God. And there was just more like Trump now doing a True Social photo dump after his meeting with Zohran Mamdani, including their pics of the FDR painting. Yep. So pundit reactions and hot takes aside, Zohran Mamdani's meeting with Trump will protect immigrant communities in NYC. More strongly worded letters and platitude from Dem leadership ever could, 100%. And so this was him today when he said, do you still plan to deploy the National Guard in New York City? And he said, if they need it right now, other places need it more. And so that's what I'm saying. That's why she's delusional, because she's like, well, if he does something that he doesn't like, dude, he literally convinced him to like not send the National Guard. He said that he wants to help him with what he's doing and that he's not going to take away any money and that he's actually going to try to help him as much as he can. And what you got from that is that Zohran was scared and that Trump was just doing strategy. Like, that's what you got from that? No, Zohran was doing strategy and he dominated that meeting. He got everything he wanted, and now he has the rest of you coping and losing your minds because you don't know what to make of this, because your strong man is not so strong in the presence of someone who actually gives a shit, who actually means business. Oh my God. So wild. And then, yeah, this is the part that killed me. That's okay. You can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind. Donald Trump, when a reporter asked if Zohran Mamdani thinks he's a fascist, truly insane.
I call the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Mm-hmm. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it.
Yes.
I don't mind.
I also like how Zohran was like, you could tell that when Trump was like, you can just say it, or was like, whatever, you could tell Zohran was like uncomfortable in that moment, and that he was like, okay, like, you could tell that like that made him a little uncomfortable, because that was also the power dynamic of him like patting his shoulder and trying to be like, you can just say it, who cares, I feel like that was also like a power dynamic move. But you could tell John's a little uncomfortable that like Trump was being so buddy with him, I think, and you can see he's still trying to maintain like he's serious and we're not like friends, if that makes sense. This is the meme. This is one of the memes I was talking about. JD Vance is jealous because Trump has never given him the look of love like he did with Zohran. Oh God, it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Laura Loomer has been losing her mind. So she said, funny. So it says, breaking: Hamas breaches White House perimeter. Funny because it's true. Mamdani's campaign was funded by the Muslim Brotherhood groups. Okay. Still waiting on the Muslim Brotherhood to be designated. But I won't hold my breath. What is she even saying? She's losing her mind. Okay. And she's going off about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been mad at Trump though, because of having, because he's friendly with Qatar, because he had the Saudi prince. She's very upset. Trump bulldozes socialists with kindness in Freaky Friday Oval Office summit. Today's cover of the NY Post. Just a reminder that Mamdani campaigned with a co-conspirator in the 1993. No, he didn't. Okay, 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and he said he wants to tax white people more for simply being white. None of that is true. His father defended I'm not going to say that word, bombings as well. And Mamdani said his father is his political idol. Okay, none of that is true, but she's freaking out because Trump was nice to him. So he did not campaign with a co-conspirator. He literally took a picture with someone who was an unindicted co-conspirator, which means he's not a co-conspirator because he was unindicted. And I'm not even saying the word, but it doesn't matter. He was unindicted. So the fact that you were calling him and is saying that he was a part of this is ridiculous, because he wasn't a part of 9/11. He was unindicted, which means he wasn't indicted, which means he wasn't a part of it. Number one, they keep saying that like it's something and it's not. It's really stupid. And then tax white people more. We already went over that when we were watching the press conference. That's not what he said. And then his dad, I think it was his dad, wrote a book. I don't know if it was a book or an article about what conditions make it so those kind of bombings happen, and how they can be seen as like rebellion groups. That's what the book was about. It was not defending them. It was talking about how you get to that point, and what with the history that has happened that has gotten people to that point, that is what they are doing. But of course, history is not something that conservatives are very fond of learning about. Whew. Okay. All right. So next, last thing that we're going to talk about is Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning from Congress. Okay. They are coping and seething. They just can't appreciate what they are seeing. Listen to the whole song on YouTube. Which song? Now I'm confused. Sorry, which song? But they were coping and seething. They just can't appreciate what they were saying. No, literally they are. Or is that a song? Is that what you're saying? Okay, I'm not sure. But they are. They really, really are. And I think a lot of them just don't know how to handle this right now. Like the cognitive dissonance is very confusing, I think, and uncomfortable for a lot of them. And so they don't really know how to handle this. Another thing that has a lot of people losing their minds, and I think I'm also going to do a video about this as well. This will probably be the video I talk about Wednesday about Marjorie Taylor Greene quitting, and then I know Cenk wanting her to stay, and then her and Laura Loomer are losing their minds against each other, and so that's probably what I'm going to talk about on Wednesday. But let's just go over her video real quick, because I haven't talked about it, and I want to talk about what this could mean. But now, like, all the conservatives hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, even my dad he doesn't like her anymore. My mom used to love her. She doesn't like her anymore. So they're all on the hate Marjorie Taylor Greene train right now. And they all hate her right now, which is really funny. The hogs are running wild. Honestly. Like, I think this is a very confusing time for them. I really do, because he keeps saying prices are going down and they're not. He's obviously lying. Things have gotten so much more expensive. Groceries are outrageous. And so, like, all of the things that they thought were going to happen, all of the reasons that they said that they voted for him, the opposite is happening. And now he's like friendly with Zohran after they all hated him because they thought he was a communist and communism bad. And and now the whole Epstein thing, everything we haven't even talked about Epstein. I need to talk about Epstein. We might do that. I don't know when we're going to do that. But like, well, we did talk about Epstein, but like there's been more that's going on. But anyway, all this Epstein stuff, I think it's really hard for them because I really don't think they know how to handle this because, again, they put so much faith. They put so much confidence and faith and like their whole personalities into this one man. And and he is not living up to anything. Of course he never has and he never will, but he's not living up to anything that he said he was or he pretended to be, you know? And that's got to be a difficult thing to come to terms with, which I think a lot of people are not. I think a lot of people are just being delusional. And like, you know, every time I talk to people who are conservative and I bring this stuff up, they're like, oh, well, it'll work out. He'll figure it out. And it's never like, it's like they just have faith that he's going to figure out and he's always just doing what's best for everyone. And I don't understand that. I don't get it. But it's true. A lot of them just have faith, which is why I have a problem with religion a lot of the time, because a lot of it's blind faith and you just believing without evidence. And that's how they believe in Trump. That's the kind of faith that they have in Trump, is that they just believe he's going to be better without any evidence. Hey, we were just talking about Zohran and we watched some of his, we watched most of the interview with him and Trump, and we saw a lot of people coping and seething, and now we're going to watch Marjorie Taylor Greene's, video about leaving Congress, and then I kind of just want to discuss what we think is going to happen, and then, I'm going to go after that. But then I'm going to make a video about MTG and all of the other drama surrounding that this week. Anyway, let's watch this video real quick. Okay, so let's see. So she posted this the same day. She posted this on Friday, right? Like this was she resigned from Congress the same day that Zohran was at the White House, I believe. So it's kind of funny that she did that because she really got like no press really at all. Most of it was about Zohran, and the only kind of thing that I saw online was just like everyone having a really good day because Zohran just kind of like totally dominated that meeting with Trump, and Marjorie Taylor Greene left, which was just like incredible. Yeah, so we'll watch it and then I'll talk about what I think's happening or what I feel. So yeah.
Hi everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why...
it's 10 minutes? This is 10 minutes? Okay, we're not going to watch this whole thing. That's way too long. What the hell? Okay, this is her official statement. 10 minutes? Why is this 10 minutes?
I've always been despised in Washington, D.C. and just never fit in.
Okay. I don't want to listen to her for 10 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C. and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman.
She's totally reading a script, right? Like she's reading this, right? Like this is totally you can kind of see her. She's totally reading a script. Okay. No, I mean, I don't knock it. Like I get it, but
the debt goes higher. Corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visa.
And this is why we got and this is reason number 1 that we listen. I'm happy she's leaving Congress. I have my theories and we'll talk about that in a second, but we should not be welcoming her into that tent or whatever the hell or whatever, or Jank wanting her to stay in Congress because she's a populist or whatever. Dude, she made a shit ton of money while she was in Congress, okay? She enriched herself. She did insider trading when she was in Congress. She's actually one of the she made out like a bandit, okay? She made a shit ton of money while she was in Congress. So number 1, that whole thing of she's populist, out the window, okay? She's lying. She's lying. All right. She's smarter than I thought she was, okay? She's much smarter than I thought she was. And maybe her playing dumb was a bit, I don't know. I'm not sure. But she does not care about regular people. This is just a ploy, I think, to maybe run for higher office or to maybe be a pundit or do something else, because I don't think she ever really enjoyed Congress. I think a lot of these MAGA influencers or these podcasters, I don't think they actually enjoy being in government or working a government job. I think they wanted the power and they thought it was just going to be easy, doing a podcast. Not that that's a super easy thing, but it's easier than going to work every day, like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino talked about in one of their interviews. And so I do think that she just wasn't happy initially, because I think she probably would rather be a podcaster or a pundit than she would be in government. Because again, I don't think this is actually about the people or fighting for the people. I think this is about her and her money and her notoriety and what is best for her in the long term. And I think she can see that Trump and MAGA and what they're doing right now is not going to be popular after this term. It's just not going to be, for numerous reasons, because of Epstein, because of ICE being Gestapo, because of him not actually ending any wars, even though lying and saying he is, but he's not. I think she realizes that Trump and his popularity is limited. And so this is what she's doing because it's best for her. And so when she's talking about immigrants like this and calling them illegal aliens and they're the reason for your problems, and then also saying, but it's also corporations too. Again, this is not sorry, I feel like I have a sneeze. Okay. I feel like I made a really weird face. Okay, sorry. I felt like I had to sneeze. Anyway, she's not, I don't feel like she's doing this this is coming from a place of genuine, I don't know. Everyone at Congress is that she genuinely hates everybody else and that she genuinely feels this way, which I guess she could, I don't know. But I think a lot of this is so she can keep her notoriety and her popularity after Trump, because I think she sees the writing on the wall. But this is the reason why I get frustrated with people like Cenk, and this is the reason I get frustrated when people want to bring her into the tent or whatever the hell, because she is still very racist and she still wants to go against and criminalize and target immigrants and trans people and people of color. And I think the only kind of populist she really is for white people. And I don't think that that's okay. And I think, unfortunately, when it comes to white women, that tends to be accepted, especially because that's what happened in the feminist movement. A lot of women who were wanting to vote or get rights to vote, they were only okay with it being for them as white women. But when it came to anybody else, they were not okay with it. And so unfortunately, historically, this is what people do. They bring people like this into the tent, even though they're not actually fighting what we're fighting for. Yeah, that was a long tangent.
Or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average...
Okay, is there a way to speed this up? Oh, there is. Okay, let's speed it up a bit.
American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies, because I believe God creates life at conception.
See? No, thank you. I really don't care. I don't want to listen to any of this. Is she just going to be like, I resign?
Full primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people...
I like that she said that, though. I do like that she said that, because I feel like that's what the cope is a lot of the time. Like I was saying, like, oh, he'll figure it out, or they'll figure it out. Like that was the big thing with, I was talking to my dad about my student loans and how I'm really nervous for next year, because my student loans right now, I'm waiting because there's like a lawsuit against the school that I went to, because that school just like closed on people. It was Vatterott here in Missouri. They just like closed one day and didn't tell anybody. And so there's been a lot of like lawsuits against them and stuff like that. And there's like this one form I had to fill out, and I forgot what it was called, but it was something along of them, like they made you pay a shit ton of money, and then they just like closed, and you didn't really get out of it what they promised. And so I've been waiting for like years to get a decision on this, if I can get like anything forgiven. And there's been a lot of lawsuits against them and all this other kind of stuff against Vatterott. And that's where most of my student loans are from. And I was talking to my dad about this, and I'm like, well, I think it's like, I forgot what month it is in 2026, but I think it's by like summer of 2026, I have to start paying, if there's like no decision or if there's whatever. And I told him, I was like, I'm really nervous. I'm very nervous of how I'm going to handle that, what's going to happen, because it's going to be a lot of money. And he's like, oh, well, I'm sure they'll figure it out. And I'm like, what do you mean they'll figure it out? Like, they're dismantling the Department of Education. I don't even know where my loans are being serviced out of. Like, I don't know, because it's not under the Department of Education anymore. It's under small business. Do you think that they care about my life, or if I can afford this? Like, I don't think that they do. And so, I think a lot of people think that what he's doing is like this great strategy, or it's this 4D chess or all this other kind of stuff. And that's just not the case. Like, they think that like he has some rhyme or reason for doing all the things that he does, and that somehow it is going to help and work out for everyone. We may not understand it now, but one day we will. I literally got told that by someone else in my family, like, well, one day I hope you realize that like I was right and I voted for him to like help you and help your future. And I didn't know what to say in that moment, because I was in such disbelief of how anyone could think that. Because everything he does is for rich and powerful people, and to help them and to enrich them. And so to think that somehow this will all end up on our side, even though there's proof and evidence staring you in the face every day that that's not what is happening. To still think that is crazy to me. And so I think it's interesting that she pointed it out and was like, this is not some strategy. This is not some game, or we're not in some 4D chess. Like, he really is not helping you, and he's not trying to, and he doesn't want to. And so I'm glad she said that, though.
People realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country. And instead, the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington. Then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest, as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office, with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future.
Mm-hmm.
May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
Okay, so...
Hi, everyone.
Oh, no, I don't want to listen to her again. Okay, so she left, and a lot of people are really happy on both sides of the aisle, because now conservatives hate her. And so there are a lot of people who are happy on both sides of the aisle. And, I am happy. I think it's a good thing. I don't want her in Congress, right? I don't like her. I don't care. I know you're saying Cenk almost cried about it because he found out on air. That's hilarious. And I'm sorry, I won't watch it tonight because I'm going to do a video about it. So I apologize, but I will do a video about it. That'll be my video on Wednesday. It's going to be about MTG and Cenk, and then I'm going to put some stuff in there too about how she enriched herself. So while she's talking about this and talking about all these people who enrich themselves in Congress, she also did that as well. But she might just sail off into the sunset now that she's got her pension. Okay, so here's my thing. I think I'm not sure what she's going to do. Okay, this took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this. And I think a big reason why she left is because Trump was going after her, and she was also releasing the Epstein files, and she's been very big in that. So maybe she really is scared for her safety. And I don't want to mock that, because I'm sure it's scary when you have MAGA people after you. It's happened to many people. Of course, when she was talking about it, she had to try to equate it with the crazy leftists coming after her too. But so I'm not trying to minimize that, because I'm sure she could be actually scared and really just trying to get out of the limelight. So that could happen. I also think that I thought that for a while she was going to try to run for president. And I know a lot of people are like, please don't say that. Please don't say it. But a lot of people have been saying it. Okay. The rumor's been going around. All right. I'm not the only one saying it. And I do think that maybe she does. And I think maybe picking a fight with Trump was her strategy, to try to bring him down a peg, I guess. And the way she's totally just reinventing herself and rebranding herself feels like she's trying to make a bigger run for something. Because she's going to need majority support, and the way she was before, she was not going to have it. And so I do think that could be a possibility. I'm not so sold on it yet, because this really surprised me and I wasn't expecting this. But I do think that she might want to do that. Or she could just become a pundit, she could just become a pundit. That's the other thing. And I'm sure she would enjoy that. Although the right is not really on her side right now, so I don't know where she would go. Of course, corporate Democrats are welcoming her with open arms because that's what they do. This is what they always do. They just take in the corporate Republicans. They just take them in. They don't care. Drives me insane. But I guess those are my three guesses. Maybe she is just done. I don't think so. Or she's running for president, which is why she's trying to moderate and rebrand. Or she wants to be on CNN or something. I don't know. We'll see. She didn't need a full security before Trump came after her, which is interesting. I heard people saying she could be VP to Tucker. If Tucker Carlson runs, I think I will lose my mind. I know they were talking about him running against Donald Trump the last time, and I remember being like, I swear to God, if he runs, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I've told you all how I feel about Tucker Carlson. He makes you feel like you're like an insane person. Like, he makes you feel like you're an insane person because he's just that good at like propaganda and gaslighting, and I just hate him so much. And so if he runs, I think I might actually like lose my mind more than I already have. So I hope he doesn't run. But her being VP, I think, is what she wanted. I know everyone was talking about her run for Senate, but I think initially she wanted to be VP. And I think that's what she wanted to be, because she was hanging around Trump. When he was first starting to run, she was hanging around him, and there were all these rumors that she was going to be VP, and everyone was asking her about it, and she tried to play coy, but she was around him all the time. She went to that like tennis game, or I don't know if it was tennis. It was some game that she went to with him, and that's when the rumors were like swirling around. And so I think she really wanted to be VP. I think that's what she wanted. And then she was like, okay, I'll settle for Senate. And then they were like, no. And I think that made her pissed off. And I think that's why this is happening. So she could want to be VP for someone else. But I definitely think that she's trying to moderate because she wants to run for something bigger. Because that's what people tend to do. So I think she's trying to moderate and rebrand as more of like a moderate because she wants to run for something bigger. And I do think that's the case. Or she wants, I don't know, maybe she does want to be like a pundit on CNN or something. I don't know that would be really wild, but who knows? That could be her goal. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. Those are my thoughts on it. And yeah, well, that was my stream today. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited. I don't know why. It's been like a week, but I feel like it felt so long because I went out of town and then all this stuff happened. And then I've been obsessed with Wicked for like the last 48 hours. And that's all I've been thinking about. So it just felt so long. So it's so nice to see everyone. Thank you all for coming to my live. I love you all very much, and I'm going to put out a video on Wednesday talking about jank, so thank you everyone, and thank you Natalie, and then I know there was someone else who mentioned it, but thank you, was it Creflo? I don't know. Thank you everyone who mentioned doing the jank reaction. I am going to do that for my video on Wednesday, and then Thursday it'll be like a Thanksgiving type one, and then I'm gonna do something for my members as well, but I don't know yet, so we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, lots to come this week. I'm very excited. I hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully it's not too crazy with your families. I'm just gonna hang out with my dad, so it'll be fine. Christmas is gonna be a little weird this year, but I'm not talking about that yet. But yes, everyone have a great night. Yes, and I hope you guys have a great night too, and have a great Thanksgiving. And I love you all very, very much. And Thanksgiving. Oh my God, how did I forget about Thanksgiving? Oh my God, thank you. Actually, okay. Oh my God, we're gonna have to react to that in full. Whenever we're gonna react to that in full. Mark my words. Okay, I don't know if it might not be Sunday, it might be next Monday. We'll see. I haven't decided yet because I was like, I should take off the weekend for Thanksgiving. We'll see. Oh God, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving this year. I can't believe I forgot about that. Thank you so much for reminding me. Oh yes, we are gonna react to that. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know when. Keep a lookout. I'll post about it, but we're gonna react to that. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited now. I don't know. My mind was on like Stranger Things because that's coming out on Thanksgiving. Then I forgot about Thanksgiving. How could I forget? Oh my God. Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, yes, thank you. Oh God, I'm so happy. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I hope it's coming. And I also really haven't been watching Hassan because he's been in China. And so I haven't really been watching. But it looks like he's having a good time. Anyway, before we go, you're not even sure it'll happen? Oh, damn. I hope it happens. I really hope it happens. You're right, though. Maybe he doesn't want to fight with him because there's probably more of a fight this year than anything. God, I hope it happens. Is that bad? God, I know. Because he probably doesn't enjoy arguing with his family members. And it's not that I enjoy arguing with my family members. I think I just enjoy arguing, which is a side effect, which is like a symptom of ADHD. But anyway, that was a question. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully they have it this year. I don't know. I hope they do. Thank you for reminding me about it, though. God, I hope it happens. I've been looking forward to it all year. Okay, well, let's all collectively hope that Thanksgiving still happens, and try to make it happen because we need it to happen. Anyway, that was fun. Okay, before I go, I just wanted to say thank you to my members, Troy Roberto, Crystal Safira, and Creflo. Love you all very, very much. And yes, I will, you all will see me on Wednesday. And then, of course, I'll post some more. I'll post some more posts and stuff like that. But anyway, yes, love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you in the next video. And then the next live will hopefully, fingers crossed, be about Thanksgiving. Let's hope. All right. Love you all. Goodbye. Have a good night and have a good holiday. Okay, if I could. Here we go. Bye.